Hello, good evening. You are welcome in the biochemistry class organized by Society of Career Technology and Jan Vikas Mahasabha. So we were talking about carbohydrate metabolism. And in carbohydrate metabolism, what happens? In chemistry lab, if you have to perform a chemical reaction, you just add the chemical substances into a test tube and you can heat it on the burner, the reaction is completed. But in our body, all reactions have to take place on normal body temperature. It is not possible for making a cup of tea that I can take a spoon of milk, a spoon of sugar, a spoon of water in my mouth and I can sit on the burner and tea will be not formed. Something else will be formed. So here what happens? Of course, the breakdown of glucose is also an oxidation. But in this oxidation, it is a slow process and all the 12 hydrogen atoms are removed one by one. Every time when they come out, the energy which was binding that hydrogen comes out and ionizes it into separate electron and proton. Now for electron, there is a different pathway in the mitochondria. For proton, there is a different pathway. In electron transport system, from one excited electron, 3 ATP molecules are produced. Second thing is that in our body, for any reaction, energy is needed and that energy is always supplied by ATP or sometimes by GTP and creatine phosphate. So for any reaction to start, it should gain energy from a phosphate. So during glycolysis what happens? There are two things. Just after oxidation, the energy comes out and it is used in the phosphorylation of ADP to form ATP. There is a coupling of oxidation with phosphorylation which is called oxidative phosphorylation. Now phosphorylation is of three types. One, photophosphorylation, which takes place during photosynthesis by the chlorophyll molecule. Secondly, there is a substrate level phosphorylation where only a small amount of energy comes out which is utilized for formation of 1 ATP. And secondly, there is oxidative phosphorylation in which much more energy comes out in the single step. It ionizes hydrogen into electron and proton and from one excited electron 3 ATP molecules are produced. So there is one substrate level phosphorylation and there is one oxidative phosphorylation. Both type of phosphorylations take place during glycolysis. The main central theme of glycolysis is that by it 6 carbon glucose is broken down into 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound, the pyruvic acid. And initially at 2 stages, energy is taken from ATP. First of all, glucose forms glucose 6-phosphate, then it is ionized to form fructose 6-phosphate. Again this fructose 6-phosphate takes one phosphate to form fructose 1,6-diphosphate. Now this fructose 1,6-diphosphate breaks into 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now there is oxidation and one phosphate is again added by phosphoric acid to form 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. Hydrogen comes out and is taken by NAD to form NADH and goes to electron transport system to form 2 into 3, 6 ATP. Secondly, at 2 levels, substrate level phosphorylations take place. From 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid. ATP takes energy and forms ATP. Again it forms phosphoenol pyruvic acid. From phosphoenol pyruvic acid again energy is taken. Of course there is choice for you. Either you can just cram and learn the name of all these molecules and all the enzymes. you can do it. But in that case, you will not be able to understand actually how the chemical reaction had taken place. And the second way is, although it is a longer method, but once if you understand it by its structural formula and how the functional group are changing, then for whole life it will be stored in your brain. So here what happens? Glucose molecule, 6 carbon. First of all, it takes one phosphate to form glucose 6 phosphate. Here it is phosphate, not phosphorus. Here phosphate, P means H2PO3, right? Now glucose 6 phosphate is isomerized to form fructose 6 phosphate. It takes one more phosphate which is attached at the carbon number 1. Fructose 1,6 diphosphate is formed. Aldolase enzyme breaks it from the middle, like at this point, and so a dihydroxyacetone phosphate and a 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde molecule is formed. It isomerizes to form the 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Of course, now onwards, always there will be 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, and other molecules there will be 2 molecules. Now what happens? First of all, here oxidative phosphorylation takes place. It is oxidized to form 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. A phosphate is added from phosphoric acid, and NAD takes the excited electron, goes into electron transport system to form 2 × 3,6 ATP. At this level, initially phosphoric acid had given normal covalent bond, but for energy rearrangement in this molecule, it is changed into a high energy phosphate bond. Now at 2 places it will give substrate level phosphorylation. It is called substrate level phosphorylation, in which at one step only 1 ATP will be produced. So 1 ATP will be produced and it will form 3-phosphoglyceric acid. And this 3-phosphoglyceric acid again isomerized to form 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Now what happens? Starting from the 2-phosphoglyceric acid, it is changed into phosphoenol pyruvic acid. Hydrogen is removed, taken by NAD, and then here again a substrate level phosphorylation takes place. Phosphoenol pyruvic acid is changed into pyruvic acid. Now this glycolysis is complete, but there are 3 fates of this pyruvic acid. During aerobic respiration, if oxygen is present, both dehydrogenation and decarboxylation takes place. Hydrogen is removed and the CO2 is removed. Then remains CH3CO, the acetyl radical. Radical cannot exist as such. It immediately combines with coenzyme A to form acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A is very important. It is also connected with reactions of fat metabolism and amino acid metabolism, and during anaerobic respiration in animal cells, in this pyruvic acid itself, the 2 hydrogen atoms are taken to form the lactic acid, and in plant cells, from pyruvic acid CO2 is removed, then acetaldehyde is formed, CH3CHO, and in acetaldehyde again the 2 hydrogens which were removed earlier, they are again taken by acetaldehyde to form ethyl alcohol. So in plant cells during anaerobic respiration, ethyl alcohol is formed. It is also called alcoholic fermentation. Now for further fate of the acetyl coenzyme A during aerobic respiration, the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain of reactions take place, which we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much.